Okay everybody, welcome. It's the 8th of May 2021 and I've got my hat on and a raincoat and it's not that warm either, so I thought today I'd go through and talk about my queens, of which I've got 4. I've also in total running 8 colonies at the moment, which means 4 of them are in the process of being queened, which I will try and explain. Okay, so if we start off with this hive, that's where one of our queens, the oldest, the 2019 glove box queen, was living the end of last year before we took her out with about 4 frames and took her down to the allotment where we're going next. Inside this box is our glove box green 2019 queen. She did spend the winter in one of these smaller nuke boxes, polystyrene nuke boxes, before we transferred her into here, where she's doing fine. Now, the space in here for 11 frames. So far I've taken 3, maybe 4 frames out of here already. I'm running this as a resource hive. Theory being, this is my favourite queen, I would like to breed from her. So, at some point, we took some frames out of there, placed them in this box here. The plan is they're going to make their own queen, which will be a daughter of the glove box queen, and those will go to live in our apiary in King's Cross. Oh yes. Okay, this is my top of our hive, in which, walking around, is a blue 2020 mated queen called Queen Boris. She's done perfectly well, filling up the large majority of this box, probably that much, before I gave away 3 frames, maybe 4 frames, to a local beekeeper to, first of all, start a new colony elsewhere, secondly, to reduce the likelihood of this getting too big and swarming. Let's see how that plays out. I'm hoping that at some point we can start harvesting honey from this, maybe in the next month or so. We shall see. I don't know what harvest too much, because as a general rule with this style of hive, you allow them to keep the honey in the hive all winter, and then in spring take away any excess, which I intend to do. Okay, our third queen, we're back to the same box obviously. Our third queen spent the spring with a full run of this box. Exactly 2 weeks ago we dropped a divider between the two and took the queen from that side and placed her in this side, leaving this side queenless. I also gave away another 3 frames of bees to reduce the risk of these swarming at the time, which I'm happy with. And now 2 weeks have passed, and what should have happened is one of the eggs from the bluebell queen should have hatched, and a virgin queen should be walking around in there ready to mate this week and start laying the following week. So that's queen number 3, bluebell queen, bought from BS Honeybees, and that's a 2020 blue queen, hence the name. This one will be, in theory, the daughter of this one. Okay, the 4th and final queen is the one which spent the best part of last summer in there, and I was unable to find her. So much so, I've tried all sorts of skullduggery to try and catch her, and it formed this sort of plan. Firstly, I split the hive in 2 and put a divider in. 1 week later, the side on the far side had lots of queen cells in, indicating that the queen was in this side. So I knocked those queen cells down and replaced them with 1 frame from the allotment, which had a frame from the glove box queen, the friendly one, leaving the queen still in there. Last week I took the remainder of those bees and split them in half again, leaving half in there obviously, and taking half down the allotments. This week, while looking through that box, I went through and managed to find the queen in there. She's now marked blue, and that's Queen Van Tam. So Queen Vantam's over there. I've just then gone through and knocked down all these cells in this side and put another frame in from our resource hive. So both of these, if and when they hatch and get mated, will be in theory daughters of the glove box queen. So last but not least is this box, which has got Queen Vantam walking around in there. I managed to catch her yesterday and mark her with a blue dot. Now her parentage is slightly unknown, but I think she's probably second generation from, or maybe third generation, from some bees I received in my second year. Plan with her is I've got 3 regular square frames, 14 by 12s on that side, and I've now added 3 top bars to this side. The theory being they're gonna draw them out, lay some eggs in there, and then at some point I can take those 3 frames and put them down in my second top bar hive and shake the rest of the bees in with them. And then when we get to that point, we'll have another empty box, and then we can work out what to do with this hive, which is a resource hive. Maybe we might put some supers on to get some honey, or maybe we might try something different. All of this assumes that all these queens that we've got going off in every direction all hatch, mate, return and start laying round about in the next, starting this week, but next week and the following week after. Let's see what happens.